Curiosity. What are you so curious about? Everything, Mr. Curiosity.
Alrighty, folks, this isn't the Mr. Curiosity podcast. It's your podcast. It's the People's Podcast.
Oh, okay.
So maybe we should call
you
it
weren't
that.
supposed to say anything yet. Mystery.
Well, our WNEP Plus viewers can see him sitting here.
Yes.
All right, anyway, we answer your questions, so you have to keep them coming. It's brownbag@WNEP.com, brownbag@WNEP.com. The whole podcast is only as good as the questions.
Yes.
Sometimes the questions are bad. I'll be honest.
And sometimes they're great.
Sometimes
They're great.
Yeah.
So I usually don't cheat.
Okay.
They go in the box. We never know what we're going to pick. This time I'm cheating.
Okay.
Because I got this
Ooh.
question in, and it gets right to the point. Suzanne Jarrett.
Okay.
Well, do we have to say who he is?
What do you mean?
We didn't introduce him yet.
That's because this is the
Okay.
build-up. This is
Okay.
the build-up.
Sorry.
He has a plan. to do.
Sorry. It's the bit.
I was listening to Talkback today, 31025. Heard a caller saying PA Outdoor Life is going off the air. I am searching your website, don't see anything about it. Any intel on this? Has Don Jacobs left WNEP too? TOO. I love the show and Don is awesome with Go Joe. Thanks, Suzanne. The podcast is great. Appreciate you answering everyone's questions. Is that not a good start or
That's
what?
a good
That's
start.
a great
Let's
start.
bring him in himself. Don Jacobs has arrived.
Hello, guys. How are you? Oh man, now like you say to me at St. Joe's, don't go getting all teary-eyed.
I can
Don't-
see it in
don't
your
put
eyes
the
already.
Don't
No
put the
one is gonna
emotion
cry.
into this. Don't put the emotion into this.
Well,
But-
our dads taught us, Jake, to keep our feelings buried, didn't they? That
yeah,
generation.
but I've always cried. Like,
Okay,
I've
you're a
always
crier.
been. I'm a very sentimental kind of guy. You know, with
Okay.
my children, with my daughters, when they scraped their knees, I would clean it up, but then I'd cry. So I've always been that
You're not a barrier.
feminine side. I'm not a barrier. no.
Okay, all right.
So what do you want to answer?
Well, no. So where do we go? With the first question was, I don't see anything about it. Have we made this official?
Yeah,
right? Maybe
actually.
since then.
Well, yeah, the last three programs, or actually this one included, we've been saying that as of the end of March, Pennsylvania Outdoor Life will stop production. Now, you're going to be able to see it on WNEP Plus and YouTube and everything, but we're not going to be making any new Pennsylvania Outdoor Lives after 43 years on the
That was
air.
my next question.
Wow.
So 43 years.
Yeah, 43 years. Times have changed. People's lifestyles have changed. Our move from 6:30 to 11 o'clock wasn't quite calculated right because a lot of people are hunting and fishing at 11 o'clock on a Sunday morning.
Yeah.
So all those little factors, and after 43 years, we're going into repeats.
I'll say this, John. As I get older, I'm 59. Could I say your age?
Yeah.
And you're 60.
I'm 64. I'll be 65 in a couple months.
65. As you get older, you don't think you're old.
Right.
So one good thing with this is, you and I have to admit, you especially, you're old. No, but you had a great career.
No,
so a
so-
lot of people are going to be like, geez, 65, awesome, man. We had his run. It's
And
over.
Here's how I'm answering it.
Yeah.
43 years.
That's
and
what I'm
I've
saying,
expressed this to you, John. 43 years of working here, 35 on the same program.
Yes.
And along the way, being able to work on charity events, being able to MC big banquets to raise money for things, and shake hands with, I'm going to say, tens of thousands of viewers.
Especially on the Gojo. You're like as much of it as I am.
Gojo, when we did expos, every public outreach, somebody came up and made me realize I love my job. And that's 43 years of that. And 35 of it was with a fishing pole and a rifle in my hand. So that's just a
At the
good
same
run.
time?
No,
Oh,
that's
okay.
tough to do.
That might be a character flaw we all have that I think we like the like of the people.
We do.
A lot of people don't have that. I love it. I love my students tell me that. I love the viewers, and we all like that. Some people.
Well,
I don't
it's
think
nice to be appreciated.
It is,
It
but
is.
maybe some degree more than others.
Yeah.
You know, and when I first took over Pennsylvania Outdoor Life, I didn't realize that being in front of them, there's a lot of responsibility too. Like you walk into a restaurant and somebody's heckling you because you couldn't catch a fish. Like I know guys that haul back and whack them, right?
Yeah, you can't. Oh
but
God, you need thick skin here, baby.
Thick skin,
Especially in the hunting and fishing community.
Oh,
yes.
When we changed the deer seasons, when there was a lack
They
of
attack
rabbits.
you.
Oh, I know. I had death threats, right? And that was the bad part. But the good part is that all those changes changes that were being made then. We followed them right through, and people love what's going on with the deer herd now. But it wasn't always pretty, but you had to have the thick skin. You had to know that somebody's going to jam a phone in your face saying, "Look at the buck I just killed," as you're putting a fork of spaghetti in your mouth, right? I mean, look at this, Mike, and then there's this one, and like, Lucy, my fiance, sits there and goes, "How do you deal with this?" You know, thick skin. It's part of the gig, and you just move forward.
Yeah, it's showbiz. We got to do it.
We have to, absolutely. And you guys should know, because I mean, your popularity, it was really funny, but through the years, it always changed. The most asked questions in the field, like, was Joe and Noreen, are they really sisters?
Brother and sister,
you went through that stuff, and then
Sister and brother.
sister
Don't
and
call
brother.
me. I know you call me a lot of things.
Yeah, right. But I'm saying, like, everybody's, hey, what's up with him? What's up with her?
Yes.
And now what do I get? That morning crew. Oh my God, you guys are.
Is that right?
I'm telling you,
Oh,
it's
that's
just
awesome.
so awesome. Yeah,
That's awesome.
So awesome. They just say that it's a wonder to wake up in the morning because you could always find something to smile about.
Oh,
so
that's
you
awesome.
guys are like super popular, and now you're the most asked question.
So how do we say all this without saying it? So as someone gets into their mid-60s, they're expected to retire. There's Medicare waiting for you, Social Security. We should be happy for you. You get a life of leisure now.
Yeah, but I'm not sure I'm going to be leisure. Like, once I walk away from Pennsylvania Outdoor Life and WNEP, once I walk away, I'm not sure that I don't want to work for another 2 years. Maybe just change a little career here or there. Or
What would it be? What would be the ultimate for you?
Well, you know,
68, 67?
67.
Is that right?
If you haven't looked yet, but if you look at 67,
Oh, on the Social Security. No, I have looked.
Yeah,
I have
like
looked.
it's a major jump from
Is it
65.
really? I didn't even know
Yeah, I
that.
have definitely not looked yet.
Yeah, yeah, that's right. You guys don't have.
Yeah, but it's funny how it's like going to the casino, because you can look at it that way, but the years you hold off, that's all the money you don't have. So
Right.
if you get $2-3 grand a month,
Right.
that's 30-40 grand a year. Every year you wait, you're losing $40,000, and you might die and then miss that.
And you know, somebody that wants to wake up and sleep in and have a breakfast at 9-10 o'clock, maybe that's what they want to do. But I think I still want to work.
You're a busy guy.
You know,
you like
yeah.
to be busy and like
Yeah.
to be out there meeting people and doing stuff.
Yeah, and you know, I like cooking, right? And a couple of my buddies that own restaurants in Old Forge jokingly said, you know, Pat Ravello said, hey, by the way, I bought a pizza truck. There's your retirement, right?
That would be awesome, actually.
That would
I
be
can see you
awesome.
doing that.
Or TJ Cusimano has a beautiful barbecue pit. He says, you're my summer barbecue master, you know? And I'm not sure I want to do that, but I'm not going to say no. Like, there's a chance to do something totally different.
It is. What if you do the youngster thing? Picture yourself 22. You can be YouTube Pennsylvania Outdoor Life.
Right,
You can do dance videos with your
On TikTok.
on TikTok with your weapons out in state game land. You could turn it into a whole.
Yeah.
You could be YouTuber Don Jacobs.
Yeah, and you know, I know nothing about that, but if somebody comes up and says, I know we could get you going on a YouTube, blah blah blah.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not closing any doors. But
Okay.
for the first
They're
couple
all
of
open.
weeks, yep, I'm gonna walk out of here very happy with my career, happy with the people I've met in this building over 43 years. I worked with Nolan Johannes. I worked with Tom Clark. I worked with all these people that built this from a television station to a massive television station.
You're right.
And everybody that I worked with, I gained a little something from, and I think it made me a better person, a better grandfather, a better friend.
Just
I really
listen
do.
to this guy. I love it. I just had about this. You're so good at what you're doing now and being honest and true. Why don't you be a politician? Come on, state rep Jake.
Well, I don't know
Maybe
about that.
Jake.
I could
I don't
see
know.
it, but I don't
No?
know. Maybe you're too honest.
Yeah, maybe I'm too honest, right?
Supervisor of a township, Jake?
Yeah, maybe. I don't live in a township, but I mean, you know, at this age, you could start licking your wounds and saying, "Oh my God, I can't wait to retire," and you know, sit around and sit on the park bench at the state park and fish every day.
I know
but I don't want to do that yet. So I'm just gonna wait and see what happens.
Excellent.
Yeah.
really
I
am.
can't wait to see what your next chapter is.
Well, thank you,
Yeah,
thank you. I
I'm
do know
excited.
a lot of time. I'm going to spend a lot of time with my grandkids. Right, I have 3 outside of Harrisburg and 2 outside of Philly, and I'm just going to say I'm coming for lunch. You know, and
That's awesome.
for the first couple of weeks, anyhow. and then we'll put the feelers out.
There's a non-zero chance of this. Non-zero. Senior citizen male Chippendale dancer.
No, I actually explored that.
Oh, yeah,
There's a
that
need
could
for that in
happen.
the area.
There's a need for that?
That actually might be a great niche.
I'm giving him all these ideas.
Yes.
I'm giving him all these ideas.
I should have brought a
You're a
pencil
big
and
help,
paper.
Joe. He's a big help.
He is a big help.
Big help.
Keep the rest
I'd
of the
actually go there and see that.
PG, okay?
Yeah, exactly. This is a family podcast.
The funny part is I would go and see that.
Well, I mean,
If we're
it'd
a
be
male
great.
senior Chippendale
Yeah,
dancer.
there you go.
It'd be
Who's
very.
going to keep him in line on Go Joe routes?
No.
I know.
Well, it's really funny, but I'm hoping to come back, maybe do a little bit of part-time, maybe do a little bit of this or that, maybe host the telethon with you guys.
We would
if
love
it all
that.
works
You know
out.
that.
Yeah,
So it's that kind of stuff that it was never work. We all fell in love with St. Joe's, right? And I still do fundraisers for him and stuff, and I will do fundraisers for him. But I'm not going to say anything yet because I really don't know where my life's taking me, But it's all good. I mean, I'm walking out of here with a smile. I'm walking out of here with good friends,
Is
And
this
it is-
I'm sorry. You want to? I was wondering if this is anecdotal or is it factual based on a lot of your experiences. So, I guess this is one of the reasons you said it's over.
Yeah.
Our grandfathers, they all hunted and fished.
Yep.
Their kids, some.
Yep.
Their kids, less. Their kids, less. Is it dwindling down?
Yes, it's dwindling down, and the Fish and Boat Commission and Game Commission, they're doing all they can to promote mentoring, to promote more
So
young
they see it-
kids.
they see it too?
Everybody sees it.
Is that
And,
right?
Oh, across the country, everybody sees
Isn't
it.
that nuts?
So on Sunday morning at 11 o'clock, unless you DVR it or you look for it streaming, you're not going to be watching TV. Like you're going to be doing travel baseball, you're going to be doing travel soccer with your kids, or they're just going to pick up the phone first thing in the morning and go and text their. The whole world is changing like that. And I'm not saying that it would not last a little bit longer, but yeah, I mean. When was the last time you drove? And maybe I'm the only person, but as a kid, you would drive by any field in Cowland,
Dude, yeah.
and there were fluorescent orange hunters everywhere, right? Or you would be out hunting, and you'd hear all these gunshots or beagles barking.
Yeah.
When was the last time you saw that?
Lakes
right?
and rivers filled with
Filled
anglers.
with anglers. We used to fight to get to a certain riff in the river because we knew that there was other people that knew that's where all the bass were. But now,
It's hard not to be a cranky old man. Even with cyclists. Picture a cyclist, you guys now. What do you out picture now? Could you picture a guy out on the streets or biking? It's always some guy in his 50s and 40s and old.
Right.
What are
Seems
you,
that way.
Come on, you young people. You don't do anything. You're no fun anymore.
Absolutely.
What do they do?
Absolutely.
They're all duds.
Yeah, and maybe it's because of that they're taking it off. Maybe it's just 43 years, man. It ran a little bit of a course there along the way.
And it is, I mean, for any non-news program at any TV station to run for that long is incredible.
Yeah, it's unheard of, really. Yeah.
And I know, and Sean or somebody that does the digital stuff will probably tell you, I'm going to bet there's going to be an audience watching it on WNEP Plus as soon as we keep loading it up. We found like 29 years of old shows.
Wow.
Right? And when you really think about it, 43 years, we're 49 shows a year. Sometimes we were preempted because of Christmas or a race or something. That's almost over 2,000 shows, half-hour programs. And each show had 2 or maybe 3. So that's 4,000 stories. I mean, and it's not like a news person could go do a 1.5-minute interview and leave.
No.
These were 8-hour shoots, and if the fish didn't bite, they were 10-hour shoots.
yeah.
If the deer didn't show up, we left without it and went back the next day. So there was a lot of effort over those 43 years to do good outdoor TV.
And you did.
And we did. I think we did.
Man.
Yeah,
You
I think we did.
I got to tell you, I told these guys, I got to tell you this, and then we'll get right to the questions. My mother-in-law, and she watches these podcasts, so if you're watching this one,
Joe told me that.
That's
I'm
so
not laughing
sweet.
at you.
It's so sweet that she watches.
So I want to let everyone know we have a real outdoor life cabin here. It's a shed.
It is.
It's a log cabin.
Log cabin, yep.
It was built when?
In 1995, after the New York Times bought us, and we built this building, we built that cabin, 96, 90, whatever. So the only thing it doesn't
not a
have
show
is running
prop, it's a
water.
real-
no,
yeah.
it is a real wooden cabin.
Yeah.
Yep.
And it doesn't have running water. and the electricity is shut off to the whole thing, except for the half hour or an hour that we're in there producing the show. People think I live there. Well,
We tell people that.
You've told half the viewing audience
That may happen all the time.
Yeah, like
that
Lucy says, what is he doing to you? And then when you said, Lucy must have kicked him out of the house. I heard about that all day long.
Because I know you don't mind.
Oh, I don't care.
We'll
I
show
never
the
care.
cabin, and he's yelling, "Jake, wake up!"
Wake up, Jake. Yeah, I know.
So I went to visit my mother-in-law last week in Florida, and she said, I heard Don Jacobs is retiring, and they're ending the show. He said, no joke.
Right.
You should see if they want that cabin. You can put it in your yard. As if they're just going to say, here, Joe.
Take it down.
Take it away.
Here's a
your
wrench.
house.
Go ahead.
Wouldn't that be so fun? Actually want to know my idea?
What?
It's because we're always looking for revenue streams in this business, right?
What are we going to do?
We should make it into an off-grid Airbnb for skiers that come into the area and ski at Montage.
No bathrooms.
No
right?
bathrooms, no running water.
It's off-grid.
Oh,
So what off-grid
It's off-grid
implies what?
means,
You just,
yeah.
fence.
You just do what you want.
You do your.
We could just put an outhouse next to it.
Yeah, you're right.
People do Airbnbs like
That
this.
really exists, right?
They do.
Off the grid.
Yes. Because I looked for them in Vermont, and they have those there too.
That would
no
be-
running.
How much you
just
think a
say
night?
no running water,
$100 a
whatever,
night?
something like that. Yeah.
Revenue
next
stream.
Yep. Revenue stream.
Go at it.
Jake's not worried about
I'm
that.
not worried about the cabin.
You won't be sleeping in there
No,
anymore.
and I'm actually like I've been giving away some of the stuff, giving back some of the mounted animals that are in there. Shared a lot with the Lehman Sanctuary, that.
Oh, cool.
Because I was just afraid that the show's going off the air, and somewhere in the future, a crew's going to be hired to just throw it all away.
Oh, yeah, you
right.
don't want that.
And that big bear went back to its owner.
Oh,
Yeah,
good.
when
cool.
he heard that, so he picked it up with his son. And the fish, some of them are mine. A big brown trout and a big steelhead out there are mine. But the other ones, if anybody knows anything that I don't want them to sit there, collect dust, maybe have a mice rip them apart or something.
No, you're right.
Oh,
They're
yeah.
iconic.
Yeah, they're iconic, So we'll see what happens with the rest of that. But at the last weekend, well, the 23rd of March is the last new show of POL, and then we're just going to sort of dismantle it and make sure that it doesn't just sit around and collect dust.
It's not going to be dismantled, is it? Did you hear that?
Not the cabin.
The interior.
Oh,
We
yeah,
don't
the
know.
interior.
You haven't heard anything what's going to happen?
No, not at all.
Jeez,
not at
maybe
all.
my mother-in-law's right. Maybe.
Yeah.
Hey,
Yeah.
I think you should move your office out there.
There you go.
it'd be awesome.
I know.
Awesome. And then I can sleep there like you do.
Yeah.
When my wife kicks me out. All right, so you're up first, big guy. You're going to dive deep. You're going to go shallow. Where
I'm
you going. With
going.
this
I'm
thing?
going midstream.
Folks, we're answering your questions. Keep them coming. Brownbag at WNEP.com. We don't preview these things. He has no idea what he's going to
No
read.
clue.
Brownbag at
Isn't there a bell
WNEP.com.
that I don't have to
Yeah, the
read it?
bell. Where's
it's
Mindy's
right
got the
here.
bell.
Okay.
If you're
All right.
I can't imagine you uncomfortable, but if you're uncomfortable with something, smash the bell.
Okay, this one says, I love that Carrie keeps it real and sometimes gives Joe an attitude, dismisses his comments as annoying, and bickers with him.
Carrie
Is she
Kearns.
like this with everyone, or is Snetty the only one that annoys her? Ha ha ha. From Kim from Shahola.
What do you think about Carrie? She's like that with everyone.
Yeah,
isn't she?
she's great.
Is she?
She's sarcastic.
Yeah.
See, I don't work with her a real lot, but I get that vibe when I see you with her.
Well, I think Joe's personality can pull that out of certain people. You two kind of have a similar relationship,
we-
like you're on
we
the
do.
bike ride and
Yeah,
stuff,
yeah, we
poking
do.
at each other.
We do. But that's all in fun. As long as
It's all in fun. That's
with
what
Carrie
people-
too.
Yes.
He's always
It's
It's
all
all
in
in
fun.
fun.
Then that's a good thing.
Yeah.
I'm never malicious. I'm taken that way. I don't know why. I guess some people just see it differently. It's just.
Well, I just.
I was
think-
brought up with a bunch of guys.
I
all they
wouldn't-
would do, like you,
Yeah.
is bust each other.
I know, and that's how my deer camp is, my turkey camp.
So that's all I
everything.
know.
Well, and that's when we were talking before about you doing a show on hunting and fishing, is that's a world of busting chops.
Oh, yes.
And so for him to do a show for all these years among viewers that are busting chops all the time,
You have to be able to take
you
it
have
and
to
give
be-
it.
Yes, and give it.
Yes. So that's what I
Definitely.
think. A lot of people, if they didn't grow up busting chops, they see it as bad,
Right.
and evil, and malicious.
See,
It's not.
I
It's just
wouldn't
that's
look
what you do.
at the term malicious the right term. I would say unfiltered.
Unfiltered.
Most
That's good,
people
yeah.
hold back just a little bit because they may cross that line and people may think that, but you don't.
Yeah, and it's a sign of affection for us. Like
Right.
when we
It's a
do
sign
this
of
because
affection,
we
right.
trust each other and
I don't
we
wanna
like
be
to
fake.
I
be
feel
silly.
bad for the guy who's at, let's say, a deer camp with 6 people and nobody busts him.
Right.
yeah.
Right.
'Cause
Then
then you
he's
just feel like,
he's the
yeah,
outsider.
He is. Yeah.
And I guarantee he has a stick up his rear end. He's one of those guys.
He may.
That's why they don't bust him.
He may. I don't know anybody like that.
No.
What? Now you're being fake. Yes, you do. Give us some names.
Not that we can say.
Give us some names. Throw them under the bus.
Oh, I ripped this one. All right, here we go. I remember in the 80s, at 12 midnight, this is a good one for you because you go back to the 80s, right?
Yeah, 82.
Don't we all go back to the 80s?
No,
At
this
WNEP.
is WNEP
Oh.
used to play the national anthem
Yep.
and show videos of military fighter jets flying and NASA shuttle launching.
Yeah.
All right, so I see they replay those old images. On my streaming device, do we show that?
I don't know.
We showed the old newscast.
On WNEP Plus.
I didn't, Sean. We need to advertise this.
Sean, we're never up there. I didn't know that.
I was saying that I missed that because I remember before they
Oh,
went
yeah.
off the air that that
Isn't
TV
that
stations did it.
something? So I
Yeah.
remember that, but was wondering why did it go away for so long, and why hasn't it been redone with more modern images of our military? And so is it the old stuff, Sean?
Yeah, it's the 1980.
Oh, so this person wants to know
So
why
they're
they
seeing
did.
it.
Why did they update it with like Elon Musk
because
space?
after that aired, we went off the air for a couple hours. It
Right.
wasn't around the clock
Right.
programming, so it was a way to say, "See ya in the morning."
Right, but her question is, okay, so you're doing it on our sister station, but why don't you at least update the military crafts and the space shuttle and do Jeff Bezos rocket and maybe a stealth fighter? Come on, Sean, we got to update
A
this.
Black Hawk helicopter.
A Black Hawk helicopter, yeah.
I kind of like the old school.
Yeah, I
the
think the
old-
old school. And that wasn't just WNEP. I grew up with the same thing. I
yeah.
think TV stations across the country, they went off the
Isn't
air
that
at midnight,
something how that's just your-
and they played the
Yeah.
national anthem, and there'd be all these patriotic scenes. And then
Same
you
thing
went to
with
bed.
me in Iowa too.
And right after the news, it would come on and they'd say, "It's 11 o'clock. Do you know where your children are?"
Oh, yeah.
That's right. Right.
No,
Yes.
It's funny how, yes, of course you did that.
Yep.
But no one does that now.
No. Maybe parents don't care where their kids are at 11 o'clock.
Well, see, now we have Life 360, so we just look on our phones and
And
we
you
can
see
see where they are.
No, I think it's the opposite. I think now parents are so much helicopter parents. You assume, oh, of course they know where they are. They're hovering above them.
Yes.
Back then, it was free range parenting.
It
so
really- yeah.
your parents, oh yeah, let go, have fun.
But
Do you
the
think we should
phone-
go
the
back to
phone
that?
takes it.
Yes, we should go back to that.
Except for I'm not giving
And
it my.
then the
my Life
kids can go
360.
hunting and fishing.
I
Yes.
was excited, and this was just last night, that the kids were out roaming the neighborhoods with the neighbors because it was such a nice evening.
yeah.
And I just stuck my head out and was like, "Kids, dinner!" And then all of a sudden, these memories came back
that's
of
funny.
all the moms down the street that would yell, "Kid," or so and so
Right.
dinner,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
then you'd come running for dinner.
There's a Mr. Sereno up the street. I can't do it, but he would put his two fingers in there,
Oh, yeah.
and he would give the loudest whistle when he wanted his son to come home.
and he knew that sound
And
coming.
we all knew it because we sort of knew, well, if he's got to go home, then we should be getting home too. And everybody run
Yeah,
home.
you're right.
You know, my dad had a whistle that if he did that whistle, we'd freeze and have to report right to him. You just knew that tone.
Yeah,
Get right to dad.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Speaking of your dad and the Jake thing, so your dad hunted,
Yeah.
you hunted.
Yeah.
Are your kids gonna
I
hunt?
still hunt. They want to.
Oh, so you're
Yeah.
there. It is. A
Yeah.
clean
Yep.
transfer, 3 generations.
Yep. And my daughter,
Our oldest daughter has no interest.
Right.
Our middle daughter, who is 10, wants to.
Wants to.
And our
She does.
7-year-old wants to.
Yeah. So I had 2 daughters. Both of them hunted. They both shot deer. They both shot rabbits and squirrels. I took them out duck hunting. They both shot geese and ducks. And then they went to college, and they just both, like maybe 6 months apart, said, "Dad, I just don't want to get up in the middle of the night and go in the dark and sit at 9 degrees. I just don't want to do it. Nothing to do with you. I really enjoyed every minute of the hunt. And I never, like, if they got cold by 10 o'clock, we went home. It wasn't about staying out all night, day like it was when we were growing up.
And
But-
it's
but-
not, it's not just the young people that have gotten out of it. Because, like, our deer camp,
Yeah.
there'd be a bunch of us jammed into our small camp.
So what do you mean? What is it? The old
My
people gave up
cousins,
too?
my uncles,
Yeah, but
but
who-
some of my cousins that are now in their 50s, 60s.
They gave up.
They just,
Yeah.
they moved out of the area. They moved to other states. It was a challenge coming back to Pennsylvania to hunt anymore. And, where we would have 15 people at the deer camp jammed in
What are
there.
you, 6 now? 7?
We don't even have to do it anymore. My brother and I go hunting.
Wow.
Sad.
My brother and I go out. Yeah.
And that's a trend. And it's a trend in Sullivan County and in Bradford County, all those camps that were borderlining the game lands, they're empty, they're out in disrepair. Like, it's just a trend.
Yeah.
And it's sad.
Mindy got
That's
a question there.
interesting.
She just picked it.
Well, it's not
oh, she-
technically a question.
Look at
Just
the face.
warning you.
This
Not
is
a
gonna be
compliment,
bad.
is it?
This is gonna
might be a compliment.
It's going to be wonderfully bad. Aw.
The interesting thing is, I had time to kind of look through it. She wrote this is from Diane, and she wrote this on Christmas Eve, December 24th, 2024, which I thought it was funny that she's thinking of this.
See,
on
we don't
Christmas
plan
Eve.
these things. You never know what you're going to get.
Yeah. I lived in PA all my life until I moved to Florida 5 years ago. I would always watch 16 and especially love Joe and the weather. I tell
Not
you.
Mindy, John, and
No, just Joe.
That's
yeah.
okay.
That's why I stuffed that one in there 10 times.
That's right. She says, still watch now every morning and love it. Thanks for such a great news station. So she still watches the
well,
morning show, which is very
You're
nice.
right, though.
Yeah.
This is
a compliment.
Compliments are banned, ma'am.
They're banned.
On
I'm
Christmas
sorry,
Eve.
Diane.
Christmas Eve.
She
She's
was
thinking
getting
about
all
me.
sentimental.
I think you're right. She was in Florida. She's thinking about PA.
Isn't that something? Yeah.
Like, thinking about her
So
life
nice.
here.
Here's what we
email,
want though.
see.
Every person right now that's listening to this or watching this, tell all of your friends that moved from northeastern Pennsylvania to Florida, to Philly, to wherever, they can still watch us. Just like she is. She's
Yep.
watching us in Florida. Just how you
WNEP
download
Plus.
stuff.
Isn't that
to
funny?
watch
One
on
of our
TV.
colleagues this morning, Bonnie, was trying to explain this to someone.
Yes.
Folks,
Yeah.
it's simple. On your phone, on your TV, download the app. You just type in under the search WNEP. And then you get the app. You can watch us anywhere on your phone, anywhere in the country, anywhere in the world.
So
And it's
tell
free.
grandma that moved to Florida. Tell your friends.
Everyone
You
watch
can
us.
still
Your
watch us
mother-in-law.
everywhere. Your mother-in-law. Yes.
She wants me to just take the cab. Like, how could I?
Now I want that to happen.
I know.
Can you imagine?
I want that put on a big truck
And a big flatbed.
We
Hey, where'd
carry
the
it
cab go?
live.
Ah, Joe took it.
Can we carry it live going up Interstate 81 and up
just
the
don't bring
Casey
it to
Highway?
that night that you burn anything.
Yeah, that's
yeah.
true.
Don't get
Yeah,
close
he
to
does
that.
burn
Yeah.
too much stuff.
Burn
yeah.
party.
All right,
Yeah.
I'm going deep. All right, here we go.
What if we have two
We have to have a
compliments in
good
a
one
row?
after that compliment.
Yeah, no compliments.
Do you ever think that your wife knows what you do with her loofah and she has a secret loofah hidden away from you?
Jake doesn't know.
loofah
You know the
question.
loofah story?
I don't know the loofah
This is from
story.
I don't
Tanya
think
I
and
have to
Nana.
keep sharing it.
You don't want to know.
I don't think this is wrong at all. You know a loofah, those
I
big
do, yeah.
puff balls, they're
Yeah.
they're like polyester.
Yeah.
They're abrasive.
They used to be sponge, I think.
yeah,
My
it
wife
used to be like
uses
an
it
actual
to-
sponge.
I don't know what she does. What does she do with this? Defoliate or
Oh,
something?
jeez. Oh,
You put soap
Don,
on it.
I'm sorry for you.
No, I don't know what she does. But when I take a bath,
You use it.
I use the loofah to clean the tub, and then I wash the loofah. Wait. Then I wash the loofah off and leave it there. And Dawn doesn't know. So she probably cleans with the same
Well,
thing
she-
I cleaned the tub
She
with.
knows now, right? Or she doesn't
She
Well-
doesn't
watch
listen
your
to this.
podcast,
But,
no?
but I don't think there's anything wrong with that. These guys all judge me.
Tanya thinks she knows and she has a secret loofah.
So she's saying
she was
pulls out a
smart.
secret.
Yeah.
loofah.
Yeah, she
There's
probably
only
would.
one pink loofah in our tub. And
You
that's
know.
the one I
and that's
clean
the
with.
one you
So
use.
what if Don took one of your bike riding clothes and cleaned the toilet with it and then cleaned it
You know
off
the
real
answer
good?
to that. I'm a caveman. Nothing but
He wouldn't care.
I'd be like, that's awesome. You're getting double use on it.
Yes.
I would not care.
Oh,
But I really don't think that's even bad.
it's
No, it
gross.
isn't
And now that Dawn's mother knows, because you said your mother-in-law
She's
watches.
hiding her.
Oh, wait,
She's
she's
gonna
going to
tell
tell
her.
her.
She's
She's
gonna
going to
tell
tell her.
Do you ever loofah? Or
No, I don't.
You know loofah? I don't even understand
Everybody
the concept.
should loofah. You exfoliate your skin,
don't
get
care
rid of
about
those dead
exfoliating.
cells.
No.
You got to get rid of the dead cells, man.
I really don't care about them at all.
All right.
And
good
I'll
for your
even say
skin.
this,
I use a real like a washcloth and really go at it, but
I don't even
I'm-
use a washcloth.
He's just a caveman.
Do you guys use
You
wash?
are.
Do you use a
I
washcloth?
wash. Yeah.
No, you just soap quick and you're done. It takes 3 minutes.
Well, no, you
I don't know.
you take a bath, so you soak.
I soak,
and there's
right.
probably
But
a
when I
lot
Oh,
take
of
that's right. You're a
shower.
bath man.
yeah, probably a
I
lot
told
of
you what I want on
exfoliating.
my headstone. Simply my name, and it'll say, he was always in a hurry.
There
That's
you
my
go.
So
epitaph.
true.
Yeah.
You like
Always
that
looking
one,
for
Jake,
the
or
next
no?
best
Yeah,
thing.
that's good.
He was always in a hurry.
Yeah, always in a hurry.
You're up, big guy.
Jake, you're up.
Okay.
Even to die.
Okay.
But you're always saying it's a great day to be alive. So
I'm not, I don't know. Well, let's not discuss my issues. This is about Jake today.
Well, no, it's not. It's about your loofah. You just turned it into you.
yeah.
That was a question. Maybe she does have a backup loofah. I don't know.
All right, here we go. Hi, my name is Thomas Wilk. I was just wondering if and when you are doing Go Joe, is there any way that I could come up and make a cash donation to the bike ride in honor of my mom? It was actually a tradition of us watching the bike ride. Now that she's no longer here, I'll make it a tradition. I also wondering if I could volunteer, maybe answering the phones at the festival.
Look, you and I are both
Isn't
getting
it
teary.
so fitting that Jake pulls this question? This happens on our podcast all the time.
So Jake, this
that
is right up
someone
your alley.
pulls
Yeah.
the fitting question and you have pulled
You
it.
see all these giving people with the thing. So
Yeah.
tell us. About
So, Thomas, yes, you could always make a donation. You could always stop even at the telethon.
Yeah.
But if you want to volunteer, simply reach out to St. Joseph and ask for Joanne Verduce. Joanne Verduce at St. Joe's, and ask how you could volunteer. Maybe you could flip potato pancakes or
They'll
answer
have
the
a place
phone.
for
or-
him, no
They'll
matter
have a
what.
place for you, Thomas Wilk. And I'm sorry your mom is no longer with us.
Excellent.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
And you
this-
know how people are with this Gojo and the telethon. They just hand us money.
Yeah, yeah.
Their hearts blow up in
That's
front
not.
of us.
That's why one of the reasons why I don't want to get out of the charity work or the
Yeah.
clubs and stuff that I belong to, because I think we make a difference. We really do. Our hearts are in it. So.
Definitely.
That's so nice. That's a really heartfelt letter.
I just can't believe that Jake pulled that
I
question.
know, of
Yeah.
all questions.
Because this is, for those watching and listening at home, this is completely random.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the beauty
And
of
the-
it.
and
Yeah, we
there-
don't know what we're doing.
we've
Except
had-
the first question. I planned that one.
Well,
But
that-
we've
yeah.
had so many that are just the perfect question for the perfect guest who's
yeah,
here.
yeah. Well, Brian, I think Brian Hollingshead got one that was perfect
He
for him
did,
about
yep.
raising kids or something,
Yep.
right? He's got 4 kids.
Sean, get ready to do some searching. Are you ready? Sean's in the background. Here we go. Mike from Hanover Township. Is Wilkes-Barre really the only hyphenated city in the entire United States? Dun, 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 dun,
Boy,
dun,
I don't-
Dun, 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 dun,
I
dun,
don't
wouldn't
know.
think
I've never
so.
heard that, but it could
Why,
be.
yeah, why did he say, is it really, as if he's heard
Heard
that?
it,
Yeah.
heard it
I
before.
can't think of any major city that's hyphenated.
I can't either.
But there's got to be some small.
that would be Wilkes-Barre
back
size.
roads.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
that.
Like down
Sean's
south,
on
like
it right now.
Baton Rouge or something. Is that hyphenated? I
No,
don't know.
that's not
No.
hyphenated.
Winston-Salem,
Winston's-
Wilkes-Barre, Norwood, Young America, Minnesota.
Winston-Salem.
It's one of like 3.
One of
Winston-Salem.
3.
Wow.
Okay.
Still not very
That's
many.
still not many.
No.
Yeah.
That's not many.
Good question.
Thanks,
That's
Sean.
an awesome
Yeah.
question.
That is
Yep.
a good question.
What? No, Shick Shinny isn't hyphenated. Shick
No.
Shinny.
No,
There's
it's
no
one
hyphen
word.
in
I'm
there.
just kidding.
That's just one.
Maka Nakwa.
What always used to confuse me when I first moved here was New Angola. I thought it was N-E-W.
Oh,
and then
yeah,
another
that could be
separate word,
hyphenated.
Angola.
Wallopin.
Wallopin. The names here are not easy for
No.
new newscasters to learn, I'll tell you that. Let's see. Oh my gosh.
Perfect. It's shocking for Mindy. Here's to give her the gift. Here we go.
I don't know.
Uh-oh,
I don't
but-
know.
Do you need a bell?
Are you
I
ringing?
don't,
Are you ringing or are you in?
I don't need the bell. I'm just trying to figure out if this woman is serious or not.
Okay.
Hi,
in.
Joe. This is from Rosemary. Love your show, but it's time to fess up. Prove to me that the Earth isn't flat.
How perfect,
Oh,
perfect
flat.
timing.
A flatter.
Perfect timing.
Because of the
You've gotta
Because
say
of
when
the
we're recording
eclipse.
this.
You missed
Yes.
it, ma'am, this morning. If you got up between 1 in the morning and 5 in the morning and you looked at the moon, it was full. And then all of a sudden, it went into the Earth's shadow. And guess what you saw move across the moon?
around.
A round shadow of the Earth. So you don't have to go into space. You don't have to look at Apollo imagery. You can simply sit in your backyard during any eclipse and watch the moon pass into the Earth's round shadow.
See
I
that?
watched it tonight.
That is
last
really
night.
something because
That is so
Joe and
funny.
I talked about just yesterday on the Top Secret Forecast that this is the one time
Yeah.
you can visually see that the Earth is round, and then we get this question.
Oh my gosh,
Well,
that
so
is so
we're getting quite the questions
random.
right on timing
Isn't
today.
that awesome?
Oh my gosh, that's so funny. But what if
But there,
that blood red moon is actually a movie set and we're all part of the Truman Show?
I better pick another question.
listen, there's a lot of, not, I wouldn't say a lot, but I read a story about an engineer who built a rocket. Did you guys hear about this guy? This was in the last 2-3 years. If you're smart enough to build a rocket, he thought the entire Earth round NASA landing on the moon was all made up.
Oh, no
So
kidding.
he built his own rocket to shoot himself far enough into the atmosphere to see the curved Earth.
He was a flat earther?
He was a flat earther.
Oh my gosh.
And guess what happened? his
died?
rocket malfunctioned and he crashed to the earth and he died. But
And he,
he
never,
never.
he never got to tell anybody the answer.
Oh, that could be a part
Right?
of the conspiracy
Yeah.
now.
Yeah.
Oh my
Yeah.
gosh. Oh no.
Oh man, that's funny.
But so he knew for a few seconds, right?
I don't know how high he got before
Oh,
the accident
okay.
occurred, but that's
I hope he
awesome.
found
He built
out.
a rocket.
It doesn't mean you're smart enough
Yeah.
to build a rocket.
Wow.
Not a
You
very-
still
And you're
believe
still
the Earth-
questioning.
Still a flat earther.
Not a very good one though.
Wow.
All right.
Wait, what? He hit the dirt, right? He's a flat earther.
And if I had to build a rocket, I'd go to Lowe's. I'd get like one stovepipe, and I'd be like, okay, now what?
Throw some gunpowder.
That'd be
at
it. That'd be the
goes.
end. So
Yeah.
he's a pretty smart guy.
All right, this is from Tom C. and Archibald. I hope if I put enough emails in the brown bag, you'll finally answer my question.
Oh,
And we are.
we are.
Why can't you get Mr. Kurt Aaron on the Mr. Curiosity podcast? Is he too high and mighty to do a podcast?
Oh.
I never. I don't know. He works opposite shift.
I think that's that. We never see Kurt.
We never see Kurt. So we do this podcast every Friday, usually at 10 a.m. Kurt
Right.
doesn't come in till noon or so, and I don't know. Never,
Maybe we should make it happen.
Yeah, we can make that happen.
Yeah.
That's not a
He'd
bad
come in
idea.
an hour early and do a 10
Could we
o'clock.
have Ranger on too?
He'd be fun. Well, what would the dog do?
I don't know. He'd bark.
There'd be feces all over.
Yeah.
That's true.
No, I think it's a good idea. And there's
It is.
The person brings out Kurt Aaron. There's tons of people I haven't had on yet.
Yeah.
And for no real reason.
And really, a
Opposite
lot
shifts.
of it is because we just don't see them when we record the podcast.
Yeah, and I'm lazy.
Yeah, you guys are
I don't
invited.
want to go too far. Jake's right down the hall. I'm like, Jake, you want to come in this Friday? Yeah,
Someone
sure.
walks.
look for somebody down the
Someone
hall.
walks down the hall at the wrong time. They may end up on the
Yeah,
podcast.
Right.
Good question, Tom. And he made it.
You
got
made
his
it,
question
Tom.
asked.
Keep them coming. Brownbag at WNEP.com. Jake, we're going to end with you now.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
So this is it, the
This
last
is it.
question. Now, it may take 2 or 3 to get to it. It's got to be what we call viable end question material.
Is that what we call him?
I don't know.
Do we? Sometimes
Mindy,
it
are there
di-
new rules?
I think he just
I
made
don't know.
that. I think he just made that
Making
up.
up stuff.
No, but you guys know, sometimes it ends.
Yeah, we
in a
don't want
whimper.
a dud.
We don't want a dud. We want to end this.
Oh,
So
that was
that's
long.
Something
Yeah.
like.
That's a lot of pressure.
You can't
Sometimes
pre-read. You're already
All right,
making it.
No,
All
he's
right.
filtering.
All right. I don't know that this is the right one to end the podcast with. Hello, Happy New Year, everyone. I've been catching up on the podcast during my drives. Originally from Shamokin, my family was friends with Carrie Kearns and her great aunt Millie and grandfather.
Carrie Kearns
My,
making
doing her
my
family
mother
tree.
purchased my first bike from either her uncle or great uncle.
Wow,
We owned a bike
businesses.
shop among other venues. Listening to all of you evoke fond memories of my hometown, I started tuning into the podcast when Joe had Mrs. T's grandson.
Very first episode,
and the
everyone, if you want to go back.
And the Knobles family as guests.
Oh, had them on too.
Love you for the entertainment, Laura Lee Spatzer Beal.
Just like Wilkes-Barre. We love you,
Wait.
Laura, but that's not a good end question.
Okay, not a good, but she's from Asheville, Virginia.
Oh, okay. She
Oh,
listens
so
to
she's
the podcast
yeah.
down
listening to
there.
the podcast.
Yeah, how about that?
Nice.
Jake's gonna. We're gonna keep picking until he picks a good one. This is just how it's gonna be.
So you're gonna miss me, walking the halls and
Jake,
stuff.
we promise not to get emotional.
No, I'm not gonna get emotional.
I
but
really,
just wanna
I
hear
really
that.
do love you.
Thank you. Me too. I love you. We are taking a drink and it goes down the wrong pipe. Where does it go? That's a good question.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
Could it be
That,
the
we'll
end?
take that one.
Travis.
Oh, that's Travis.
Travis.
Frequent
Sorry.
flyer.
Okay.
So you have your trachea, and then you
And
have
you
your
have your
esophagus.
esophagus.
And
Yeah.
there's that flap that controls the direction. When it goes, does liquid then go into your lung?
That's what I thought happened.
Yeah.
But then,
And
what
then
is it?
you automatically try to cough it back out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How
Lungs
much does a
respond.
lung take? And then, you
And
know.
the first thing everybody learns is, oh, it went down the wrong pipe.
Yeah, but
Went
right?
down the
Yeah.
wrong pipe.
Yeah.
Is there really this, like, if you have a slice of pizza, is it really jamming up in your alveoli in your lung tissue? If it went
If
down
you
the wrong
choke,
pipe?
yeah, probably.
I guess.
Because that
Do
you
we have
to do the
pizza sitting
Heimlich.
in our lungs?
Well, you have to do the Heimlich to get it out.
Well, yeah. But what if it makes through the flap and it just sits there in your lungs at the bottom?
I don't know.
So, just a random story. When I was a kid,
Uh-oh.
this thing went down the wrong pipe.
On
In
you?
my-
On you?
No.
Oh.
You'd hear that. It went down
Right,
the wrong pipe.
right.
And so in my mind, I'm thinking we have pipes. And then my dad just tells me that when he goes to the doctor, the way they check them is they put a dipstick down like they do the checking your oil. And put it, so in my mind as a kid, I thought that
we
you
had
really
pipes.
had pipes and that you'd go like this, they'd put a dipstick down and check to see.
That is so funny.
Yeah, I was kind of gullible
Yeah,
at that age.
Can we end with that one?
I if we somehow convert it into your future? Because
Let's get really sentimental.
yeah.
End it.
I think right now, and I say this to a lot of people when something happens in their life, you're going to look back in 4 months, 5 months, a year, and you're going to say, that's the best thing that happened to me, and it took me in a new pipe, in a new direction, for a new outlet in life, and you're going to be happier. I do truly believe that.
Thank you. Thank you. And you know, anybody that's ever walked away from a great career and starts another one, they say it opened my eyes that it's not just WNEP, it's not just television, it's not just shaking hands with everybody. There is something else that you could feel satisfied in doing. And I'm hoping that happens, but if not, I'm real close to 65.
That's what I mean.
So I feel like I won. I do. I feel like I won.
You won the lottery.
Yeah, and I feel like one of the dozens of jobs I've turned down over the years, even to make more money. I love WNEP so much I stayed. I'm hoping that one of those guys come back and say, why don't you come and work for me for a couple of years?
That's what I'm saying. They are. And then you're going to be happier.
Buddy.
JFK said in one of his speeches, the symbol in Chinese for change and opportunity are the same thing.
Right.
They're two the same words. So this change is really opportunity for
Well,
you.
thank you. Thank you. I know, again, I'm blessed to have worked with you guys. I'm going to continue with my charity work that I love doing. I'm going to help out with some of the veterans organizations that do hunting and fishing programs. I'm going to guide some turkey hunts and trout fishing. I'm going to stay active until I decide what I want to do.
And then we're going to bring you back for a podcast in 6 months or
Please
something.
do.
And you're going to have to wear a visitor badge.
So I definitely would love to come on and help promote the St. Joe's bike ride with you.
Oh, perfect.
Even though I'm not going to be on the bike ride this year with you, hopefully I'll be on the telethon with you. There's a lot of changes coming for a lot of us in our lives, and I'm ready to accept it. So bring it on.
It's exciting. It's exciting. It's almost like, you're kind of coming out into the world, like if you're graduating from high school or graduating from college, when you just have the whole world in front of you.
Scary.
It's
Yeah, of
scary,
course.
But it's exciting.
It's exciting. It's like you can do anything you want. You can be anything you want.
Yeah, thanks.
It's really cool.
I
And I'm
think
just
so.
glad these last days that we're celebrating your career, celebrating POL. You and I sat in the cabin for an interview. That's going to be on WNEP Plus. We're going to have it on the Pennsylvania Road with you. Mike Stevens is doing a piece. We're sending Jake off the way he needs to be sent off. And you have earned
you.
it.
Thank
you.
100%.
Absolutely.
Thank you so much.
And we're going to miss you so much.
And when
So
you walk out of
much.
here now, because you're, weapons and hunting and everything, we're going to put a cap in your rear end as you walk away.
Oh, yeah?
Let's not do that. That's not a fitting goodbye.
Not a fish hook or anything like that.
And next week, when a big flatbed shows up to take the cabin to Joe's, don't be alarmed.
Good having you, buddy. We're
Thank
gonna
you,
miss
guys. Thank you
Love it.
very
See
much.
you, Jake. Thanks for everything.
Yeah, thank you.
Curiosity. What are you so curious about? Everything, Mr. Curiosity.